Good afternoon. Thank you for checking in Harvey TV, JVH Films. Here with one of my supporters, and most definitely one of my sponsors for my film, Ordinary Hero. Give it up for my brother Abdul Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
People.
Yes, sir.
I met Mr. Muhammad on the chair on the couch of the Stan Simpson show. It was a great opportunity to be on the couch with his brother. He had his set, I had my set, and it was backstage. I'm talking about dream chasing and how you get to your dreams. I want you to share with us like what made you start this journey for your dreams, chasing.
Well, I've always been a dream chaser. I think that, actually trying to turn it into a business, a movement over the last couple of years, and just me seeing other people not really taking their dreams as serious. And so I just want to inspire them to try to make their dreams become reality. And so I thought by creating books and workshops and me going out and chasing my dreams would be a good way to help them to want to reach theirs a little bit more.
His brother's in the community creating all types of agendas. For one, the bracelets. Can we get a shot of the bracelet team? You see the bracelets, you see the pins. The movement is everywhere. I go to his office every time he has bracelets and pins on deck. I always hit him up. And now we out here with Volume 1, Dream Energizers. Tell us about that.
Well, so Dream Energizer, I post them on Facebook almost daily. I'll write something to encourage people, to inspire them to keep chasing their dreams. And I said, I've been doing it for about 18 months, 2 years. Let me just take the ones I've written, put them in a book, because sometimes if you miss them online, you miss them. But if you have the book, you can have it there when you need it. You pick it up and just read something, and it gives you a little inspiration to keep going.
Right. In the back of the book, it says 2011 you started the Dream Chasing. Is that when you started the whole organization? 2011?
Right. Started the Dream Support Network in 2011. Prior to that, I have a few other businesses that I was that I had, and basically I took the mindset behind them to create the Dream Support Network, and that's basically what we've been doing.
Now, how do you incorporate dream chasing into the level of our society as far as our neighborhood? How do we get these young men, these young women to pull their pants up, to realize, listen, brother, since we have a future out there, how do you get these young people to chase their dreams?
What I believe is you have to show them. If somebody, I really believe this very firmly. If a child or a young person has never seen anybody do certain things, it won't even come to their mind that it's something that they can do. Yeah, they can't even incorporate it. So imagine if all you see in your community is people do things a certain way, that's what you will emulate. That's what you want to do. So until you see somebody, maybe dressed nicely or creating their own business or going places that they've never heard of, you don't even think to go there because you don't know anybody that's done it. And so I feel like it's my job to do all the things that people just don't do. So a month ago I sumo wrestled somebody. I swam with dolphins. I swam with sharks. I've traveled all over the world. So people, when they see me, they can say, like, this is a real person in our community. I can touch him.
That looks like me.
Looks just like me. He's got, and so I want them to believe. So, and I'm not somebody, like a lot of times I'm doing stuff right here in Hartford, and so they know that I'm a normal person, and by me being a normal person, they can go make a difference in the world too.
And it starts from each one teach one.
That's right.
When I first met you at the Stan Simpson show backstage, we was talking about the 12 dreams a month, or the 12
for 12 dreams in 1 year. Yeah. So basically, it's a challenge to people. What we try to do is get them to come up with 12 dreams they want to accomplish in 12 months. And what that does is, it makes you always have to think about your dreams. A lot of times, you ask a kid what his dream is, the first thing they'll tell you is a job they want to have in the future. And what I want to do is make kids think about their dreams in a smaller fashion. So, for example, on my 12 for 12, one of them was to go to the inauguration. I did that. One of them was to join the Polar Bread Club. I did that. One of them was to go to the All-Star game, the NBA All-Star game. Did that. And so these are all things that I have to do at certain times of the year, because if I say I want to go to the NBA All-Star game now, I can't go until next year, right? And so it makes me have to constantly plan and plot and prepare for my dreams. And so I want kids to be able to think about their dreams that way too. And they may not be thinking of these big items that I'm doing where I have to travel out of the state. They may say, my dream is to get A's in all my classes this semester. My dream is to follow my directions at home. My dream is to hang out with my boys more. Whatever, it could be some practice more, work out every day. Whatever the dream is, they can put that on their list and they can cross it off their list and they can feel the accomplishment of doing something positive. And so that's what I'm trying to encourage people to do.
And what can our viewers find in these volumes of books that we have here?
Inspiration, just like, most of the Dream Energizers are written for like they're always written for me first. So usually it's like whatever is written on that day was something I was thinking about or something I experienced, and then I say, oh, that's good, and I'll write it up. And then I'll post it on the internet. But I said, let me put it in the books because sometimes you need that book next to your bed or on your desk or, you know, somewhere where you could grab it and say, man, let me just look at this so it can get me back on track or keep me on track and keep me inspired.
All right, and final note, what's your message to anybody and everybody out there? How do we begin chasing our dreams? Your message I'm taking is you start in small increments. But what's the main message you want out there about chasing your dreams?
Well, my message is never stop dreaming. That's it.
You see bracelet,
never
right?
stop dreaming. That's my message.
See the buttons?
Yeah, everything is never stop dreaming. And the reason why that's important is because a lot of times people think, I did this, I did that. But it's not about one dream. It's about continuing to inspire yourself. This is the crazy thing. Before you reach your dream, you don't even know what it's going to be like when you get there. And when you get to that new place, you have a whole new world in front of you, whole new opportunities, whole new responsibility. And so you should always be thinking about what's next, what's going to happen after this, because the world is moving, and so should you. So you never stop dreaming.
You hear from Abdul. Here we go. One more time. Two more time.
Never stop dreaming.
Never stop dreaming. Peace out. Thank you for tuning in for JD. In the building here we have the one and only, the magnificent, the myth, the legend, Mr. Brandon Fram. It's a pleasure to have this gentleman in front of the mic today, in front of the camera. He gave me an opportunity to speak to Black Man Can a few weeks ago. It was about a month ago, right?
Yes.
It was a great opportunity. I'll never forget it. It was one of my dreams come true. So it's amazing that we're here chasing dreams. So define yourself. We define the world created by Brandon Fram. Break it down for us.
So what we have here is a guided journal created specifically for Black boys and men. So what I wanted to do was create a journal that allows young men of color to build their critical consciousness through self-reflection. In the journal, there's 10 different sections from leadership, fatherhood, education, career advice, and in each section there are quotes and essential questions geared to that section. All the quotes in the journal appear from Black men who I have interviewed on the blackmancan.org in the League of Extraordinary Black Men. So it functions in a lot of different ways, but it's used in several schools right now, nonprofit organizations, social organizations. So I'm just really excited about keeping it going and growing and moving forward.
Now, share with the viewers what puts you at this position to be on this level, to share this knowledge with people, because you're not an ordinary person, not to me and I. We have a Morehouse, it's Morehouse, right?
Morehouse.
We have a Morehouse graduate here, which I'm just like in awe, I really am. I've always wanted to go to Morehouse. But I decided to go hustle in the crack house. It is what it is, but I mean, this is what it is. We have a young brother from Morehouse. So what gives you that position to break knowledge down for us?
So first, the journal, like the different sections, kind of come from my own development as a young man. Like when I was younger, it was through journaling that I was able to grow into an upstanding Black man through that self-reflection. So you start thinking about decisions that I made, decisions I wanted to make, and decisions that I saw other people make. I was able to reflect on that. So then I thought, okay, it worked for me. So I think it would be great to create a journal that will allow me to do just that. And I had like a great editor, and Literacy Lives out of Atlanta, to help me bring the vision to life.
How did Brandon Fram go so hard and so strong in his dreams and his goals growing up in the society we grew up in nowadays? How was you able to focus? How did you show the kids how they could focus as well? You know?
I think growing up, I grew up here in Hartford, Connecticut, and I think I definitely had a strong foundation at home in terms of my mom, my grandfather, and my grandmother. But I think what played a major role was that they provided this foundation for me, but then I attended Morehouse College. And at Morehouse, you're taught to be a Renaissance man with a social conscious and a global perspective. You're taught to be well dressed, well balanced, well read, well traveled, and through all these different things, the foundation that I had grew to, you know, an infinite amount because of the culture that Morehouse provides and the nurturing that it provides, and then just also the brotherhood. All the men that I went to school with, we all pushed each other. It was a culture where nobody's gonna let anybody else fail. We're all chasing our dreams, so therefore, and we're gonna push each other to do it. And that's even how the blackmancan.org even exists, because at Morehouse, I was around all these black men who I'm like, wow, like I'm just listening to everybody's dreams. And what I just said is that everybody's dream or story needs to be told. So that's how the Black Man Can even came to be, was that I want to tell the stories of different black men, as well as there's young boys who need to see positive images of themselves, and they need to see us in terms of those students at Morehouse, but also all the black men out in society who have a different story to tell that can ultimately empower one of the young men. They said, I want to be like him. Now we're providing more role models than just the ones that we may see on TV.
Absolutely, because what we see on TV is just the same old preparation of just being prepared to see negativity. It's a whole, the keynote of just all you see is negativity, all you see around you is the same old BS in the news. So, I mean, I'm just grateful to even know you, my brother. Grateful that you brought the Black Man Can to Harvard. And just share with us your position at the high school.
So I work at High School Link, which is Harvard's Insurance and Finance Academy. They are serving the role of Director of Business Partnerships and Program Development. And in that role, I basically oversee the theme of the school. So with that, I oversee theme integration, curriculum, also all the external learning opportunities from our internship program, our global business excursion, where we just took students to London and Paris. And so it's all in the effort to take students from the classroom to the boardroom. Yes, they're learning math, English, science, history, foreign language. All their electives are business classes, but that's a lot of theory. My job is to make sure I provide all the opportunities to take the theory and provide practical application.
And where's this high school located?
It's going to pay 275 Asylum Street in Hartford, Connecticut. Anybody listening that sounds like, wow, I want to learn more about the school, you can go to www.highschoollink.net and you can contact me, brandon.m.frame@gmail.com.
I'll put all your information at the bottom. So how about do this? So look at the bottom.
Look at the bottom.
We got that. You're gonna look at the bottom. So your last message for the youth, for the parents out there, how can we, have our young men and women grow up to be a standard leader in the community, like yourself and the brothers you surround yourself with? That's your last message.
I tell one of the quotes. There's a few different quotes I live by. One is that M.K. Asante says, once you make an observation, you have an obligation. So whatever observations you make,
once you make an observation, you have an obligation.
Another one is to be different, be great, and never stop at all times. And another one is that be so reminded of Martin and Malcolm, yet so inspired to sketch your own path. Those three quotes are the three quotes that I would leave to any young man or any person listening in terms of a way to chase your dreams, to continue to grow and be
only the truth. Mr. Trevor Foster, his bookstore is located
3155 Main Street, Harvey, Connecticut.
3155 Main Street, Harvey, Connecticut. Talk to us about the business, the way you're giving back to the community, the way you went from the path of prison, like myself, you went from prison to being effective. That's what it's about. My story, I want to talk about prison to being effective now. So let's talk about the whole development of your business. How can you share with that?
Well, I take it back only to the one of the housing projects Bellevue Square. He used to be a lady that used to always come through selling peanuts. And so my mindset as a child, with the popcorn lady, with the peanut lady and stuff like that, that's entrepreneurial spirit. That's something that lies within everybody. It's like bringing it to fruition. I sit back and I look at, maybe I had to go to prison because sometimes you go through different struggles and you come out of it with a better knowledge, a knowledge base of what you want to do with your future. It's sad it has to go that way in our communities. And when I think of overall community, I think of breaking the word up as community and unity, coming together in the unification of individuals so we can make common cause and make things happen. I've always been a good guy. I think that, I think the the struggles I went through made me more focused on what it is for me as an individual, what I need to do, and sharing, my struggles with other individuals so they won't go down that path. That's where True Books actually came into effect.
Did you start the business blueprint for the business in prison, or did you start when you came out of prison?
Well, you're looking like from your whole life is a business and staying busy. So it transitioned to a bookstore, because busy, like I was saying. So I had several businesses before this business, from True Fitness to different things. Like, True Books was a signature. It was a signature that we can put a business right on Main Street. It's not even cut. You don't do things like that. It was right on Main Street.
Right open.
Right. So if you say you missed it, then you missed it. So because True Books is an acronym for Truth Reigns University, my only one's kinship struggles. So I sit on the shoulders of my ancestors that they were entrepreneurs, and that's what brought me into the fruition of what in the development that we are not today.
Now, what type of books do you have in the store? I mean, I'm a writer. My wife is a writer. She has my book for life. Basically, she has a book called Success is Community. I have a book coming out called Dying Loneliness. How would an author go about putting the books in the bookstore?
Well, all it takes is a phone call to come down here individually and meet with me if you're in state. My son's mother wrote a book too called Good Girls Stay True. I published the book on Terrain Publishing. I got several books coming out too called Life After Prison, the Trevor story. What I try to do is I like to focus on African American books, black authors mostly. If it's a good book and different, I think on a cultural aspect we need our own representation of things that we like. So we got different books like Rhythm, which is Kareem book. We got Dream Chasers book. We got anything that's a relevancy. Even the street knowledge books is good too. You find yourself remember not to go down that path. Like one time when a man that came to me and said to me, I said, why you buy your daughter all these books, the urban fiction and stuff like that? What happened? He said, you know what? Now we got something to talk about.
That's something we communicate about. Right. So, having this bookstore, how long have you been still
This bookstore and this mindset, I took this from my mind and from my child environment to the streets, 2002.
Okay. What's your message to the community? You're giving so much back to the community. What's your message to the community? Those who's viewing us and listening, what's your message to the community?
My message to the community is definitely support the bookstore and support your own people as well as other nationalities. It's not wrong for them to do what they're doing. We need to start taking care of our business. And I mean, when I say our business, on a whole, stop separating yourself and you can just an individual by yourself because you're not alone. So that's my message, support.
This is JVH Films here with the one and only Trevor Foster. Thank you for being the one here with us today. We appreciate the bookstore in the community. This is a meeting place, a networking place, and we just hope much more prosperous and successful.
Like they say, my friend Uncle Yaya, he said, without no you can't be no me. That's just how it goes.
That's better than football. Harvey TV checking in with the one and only, the creator of the Specs Crew. Break it down for us, brother. Who you are, introduce yourself, what you do, how you do it, and what came about this vision for you to do it.
Okay, my name is Kareem. I paint out in Calway. Specs Crew came out on September 1st. I had a dream about an eye. And, some say like you can have dreams and sometimes you forget them. But with this one, the eye was just stayed in my head. So what happened was I ended up going to a Michael's, a craft store. I went to the paint aisle, picked up some canvas, some paint, didn't really know what I was doing, in regards to picking, because I never really painted before that. Went to my parents' house and I painted the eye. Like, before this, I wasn't an artist, and after I painted it, I didn't feel like I'm an artist. I just felt like I got something out of me. Next day, I had a dream about an eye again. It was a different eye. I painted 2 more eyes. So, by that Wednesday, I had the image of these specs that you see in front of you. They were coming to me. So, I initially sketched out the specs, and I put a dude with a high top, another one with a Gumby, and I called them Meeker and Bleeker. So from there, like the characters just started to come out. Like after I got 2 done, that night I went home, I painted 3 more. The next morning I got up, I painted 2 more. And these are like 16 by 40 paintings.
And are you a trained artist?
No.
Trained painter? Have you painted before?
Never painted before that. No.
Right, because on the website, I went to the website, and I saw the story, animated story, and it says you had a dream.
Yeah.
And you woke up and started painting.
I woke up and started painting. I do feel like I'm an artist now. I mean, like I always was a photographer. I did and dabbled with the music. But as as far as you know, the painting, I feel like I am. I mean, up to date, September 1st was my first one. I painted a 48 by 60 JZ, so I mean that's a 4 foot by 5 foot more or less painting. So I'm up at like 72, 73 paintings since September 1st.
And the process, share with us the process of painting, like from the beginning to the end. I know some people they sleep on it, they wake up and go back at it. Some people won't go to sleep at all.
Right.
They get gray hair, they lose hair, they want to have no hair. So what's your process from beginning to end? You know, when your project's done.
You know, in the beginning, I was just like, it was a non-stop thing. So like I was working on 2 at a time, and I moved to 3 at a time. The most I was working on at one time was like 4 at a time. Wow. And it was just, I needed to get it out. I don't know what it was. It was just something was in me. I don't know what other artists do. Sometimes they may stop or come back to it. With me, like if you look at my work from the beginning, some could say it looks sloppy. You know what I mean? I didn't care about what it was going to look like. I just wanted to get it out. So, you know, now, you know, a couple months later, almost 6 months in, I'm slowing it down. You know, I kind of paint the background. I come the next day and I look at it more. You know what I mean? I was kind of going with the flow. Like my father, you know, when we were speaking, it's like you get tapped in, and I got tapped into this, and you know, I got this flow, and it's just been on since.
Well, what's your message for the young kids out there, for young people that want to get into art, that want to get into painting, that want to express themselves through sketches and through paint? What's your message for them?
Well, I created in the process of all this, I created Spec School Educators, and what I do and what I've actually been able to do is go into Boys and Girls Clubs. I've been able to go into her school, and what I did was I took Spec School and made it into acronyms. So support, perspective, educate, create, simplicity, connection, respect, empower, and words.
Break it down one more time for us.
So you're gonna try to flip these.
Absolutely.
You got specs, so support, perspective, educate, create, simplicity, actually, connection, respect, empower, and words. So it's a discussion that you have, and really, you know, what I want to get out is like that we all have these innate abilities inside of us that are there. You don't know, like you can't say that you're not anything until you try it. You know, this, I picked up a brush and I was painting. So
Right. So your message is basically get out there and try it.
Get out there and try it, and you know, I would say what my brother would say, never stop dreaming, but
Yeah, let's show the viewers who your brother is.
yeah, no, my brother is Abdul Muhammad, Dream Chaser #1.
The myth, the legend, Abdul Muhammad.
Right, that's my older brother, and you know, but really it's like tapping into these innate abilities that we all have, and you know, I'm excited because I don't know what else I can do, you know what I mean? Like, I may pick up an instrument and start playing, you know.
You just never know. You just gotta push that limit and see where it gets you at.
Exactly, so, you know.
What's your last message for the viewers? Anything? Where can we find your work at?
Oh, you can go to specscrew.com. As I will always say is, you know, are you a part of the Specs crew? If not, get specs. You know, get the specs or get specs. That's all.
Definitely. Any more websites? Do you have any galleries coming up or anything like that? Major?
I have the event called Get Spec where I put you in, it's a 3-step process. You pick your specs, you pick the accessory, I come out with caps, phone boxes. And then,
Do birthday parties?
Yeah, birthday parties, events, and then you get spec. You know what I mean? It's a movement.
We went to I had met the brother at the Thick Chronicles play, and he had everything set up over in the corner of the gymnasium of the theater, and it was a energized like event going on. They had the boom boxes, they had the cangos, everybody doing their b-boy stance. Like, it was just like a love of energy over there. And you can order it up in the birthday party or any kind of event.
You can do it any kind of event. I call it a photographic experience.
Right.
You know, like you have some cats, young dudes that never experienced putting up a boombox on their shoulder. You know what I mean?
Right.
You may see it in pictures, but I want to give you that photographic experience to jump into the picture now. So, you know, I do it with boomboxes, but I can do it with whatever. You know what I mean?
One last note, somebody want to order up one of your projects, one of your artworks. How do they go about that?
You can go with specscrew.com. That's how you can go check out my work. And also Specscrew on Facebook, you'll see the logo. Or you can hit me up info@specscrew.com.
All right, well, thanks a lot, brother, for having me on the show. JVH Films, Harvey TV. Appreciate you being a part of it. Nice to meet you again.
All right, man.
Thank you. Peace.